Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I will be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench, and momentarily I'm going to post the link there with today's date so you can come into the show. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/S Smart M Men F Flying. So SMF, Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. That'd be great. Now, understand, we also have in the chat box, you can put your comments there and your questions, and I'll do my best to make that a part of the show. But sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So please be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. That's a like. Subscribe and share the videos, and comments also help the analytics. Now, regarding the comments, this is Sparky's channel, by the way. This is not my channel. So I come in Sparky's channel only Mondays and Friday nights. And so if you leave me a comment, I won't get it until the following week. So you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Flying Control Line Stunt. And the video of me flying at the Nationals, 2019 Nationals, you can comment there. I'll get an alert very promptly, and I'll be able to get back to you very quickly. All right. I also want to encourage you to subscribe to Sparky's YouTube channel. That's the Stunthangar YouTube channel. Membership started just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. It supports him. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges I'll be able to see in the YouTube chat. Sparky as well. You can see the ones that are members only. And you also get unlimited replay of these member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. You can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, like a big $sign, to make your donations. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Oh, by the way, regarding the donations, you only can make a donation during the live stream. So remember, every Monday and Friday, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, come on in, make your donation, and come back, maybe if it's a more convenient time later on, to watch the replay. But please support us with the super chats, the YouTube memberships, all that helps. And also, one last thing, please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't do or say around your children or grandchildren. Without any further ado, I'm going to post the link at stunthangar.com now. Let me get to that link and post that. Just bear with me for a second. I got two monitors here. And where did the link go? Let's see here. Oh, it's there. Yeah, there it is. All right, and posted. There we go. All right, so Let me go to Sparky's YouTube channel, look at the control panel and see what's going on there. Hope everyone's had a good Labor Day weekend. And hopefully we have some things to hear about that are interesting. Let me switch the account here. I'm getting into Sparky's channel right now. Just bear with me. I'll just be a second. I want to see what's going on. See how many viewers we have. The screen. All righty. I got someone in here coming in now. Looks like Tom is on his way in. All right, I'm in the control panel. It looks like Marcel Legrand says, "Evening all." Thank you, Marcel, for tuning in. And we have, looks like we have 8 concurrent viewers and 8 likes. Thank you very much for doing that. That's wonderful. Let's see here. So I guess Tom, there you are, Tom. I thought you knew virtual.
Hi, Charles, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I thought maybe your virtual screen now was just blank. So what you been up to?
Well, today we had company, probably our last lake day in Minnesota. It was 80 degrees, so we took advantage of that.
Yeah.
But this weekend I did have a chance to call Tim Westcott and talk to him about the TIE unit. Oops. I'm getting a phone call. Sorry, guys.
I'll mute you. Go ahead. I'll mute you. Go ahead. Hey, Howard, how's it going?
Hi. Okay, I'm fixing to fly some stunt.
All right. Wish I was flying some stunt right now myself. But
Yeah.
I'll just talk about flying stunts.
What was the problem last time when I was flying stunt? Was the camera was too high or too low or what?
It was a little bit too low. I couldn't see the actual.
Too low. Okay.
A little bit too low. Not much.
See what I can do.
Yeah.
Or the first thing I'm going to do is hook up the camera. Hey, Mike. Thanks for coming in, Mike Millard. My power supply.
Good to see you all.
And thank you, Gary, for coming in, Gary.
Yeah.
And Eddie Sutter is trying to get in. I think we're going to start the show with a bang with Howard flying his, is it your impact you're going to be flying, Howard? I'm going to pin him so.
He may have dropped.
Looks like he's locked up. He said something about his power supply, but
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. Yeah, hopefully he'll get that plugged in. So I have him pinned, and then we have a big blank screen there.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, how's it going, Eddie?
All right. I actually got 6 flights in today.
Wow. Hey, that's a really good practice session.
Yeah, I got 6 in, and my brother flew 1, and I took 4 planes and brought back 4 planes, so it's a good trip.
That's a good trip. That's a very good trip. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. So
Yeah, it's going to take me a while to get my sea legs back, but it was fun.
Good deal.
It was fun.
Got a question for you, Charles.
yeah.
You went to that contest, and I saw some pictures on the forum of Kurt Molinx's planes. Did you
Yeah.
see those?
Yeah, well, I've seen 2 of them. I've seen
Yeah.
his P-40, the Corsair. I think I've held that plane, and also there's a green plane. I forgot what he called it. Green and
I think
yellow.
it's the Chandelle.
Yeah, Chandelle. And that one I held also. And I have pictures of both planes. I have photographs that I've taken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I need to find them and share them with you guys on the screen. I think you guys would enjoy looking at
That was a pretty airplane. I
That
looked at
was.
went through the thing on the forum that went to McMillan's stunt coverage at the 2001 where he flew the Corsair, but he didn't cover it much. He showed the one picture and didn't talk about how he finished or anything.
Yeah, I think he finished 5th, and which is phenomenal for anybody to go to the Nats the first time and even get in the top 5. That speaks volumes of the how good he could fly.
I think that was the Shondell in 81. He went 20 years apart, I think.
Oh, really? Okay. I know he flew the Corsair. I've seen the video of him flying the Corsair. Wendy Unowski took a video of the Nats that year when Kirk was there, and I saw the plane fly, and I believe he got 5th. I know Keith.
That'd be twice.
Huh?
That'd be twice then.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how many times he went. But yeah, I remember meeting him at the Golden State Sun Championship, and hadn't flown in a year or 2 years and put up like a 575 score or something like that.
Oh well, he's quite the flyer.
Yeah. Montana Farmer says, "Hey Charles, hey Montana Farmer, haven't seen your name in a while. Glad you're out there. Thank you very much." And,
Howard's back on.
All right, hey John, thanks for coming in, John.
Hey John.
Let's see if we can get Howard's flight in here. I think I pinned him already.
It might need to be adjusted a little lower.
Oh, really? I thought
Oh.
he needed to adjust it high. I thought the last time he showed it was a little bit low. But I remember I couldn't see the whole maneuvers above 45 degrees. I'm getting a dark screen with Howard.
Yeah,
Maybe
I am too now.
Maybe I'll wait till he gets going, and I'll make him the star of the show.
There, I see his trees.
Yeah. So what does your shirt say, Tom? This is how.
This is how I roll.
Oh yeah, I like that shirt. Yeah, matter of fact, my Strega resembles that shirt. Rolls away or rolls toward me.
That's not good for control line.
No, I've been having a little bit. It's not. I'm over exaggerating, but it's a little bit of concern. I'm trying to work it out.
Yeah, my daughter gave me this shirt.
Oh, that is cool. So, John, what you been up to, John? I know Eddie went out flying. I think he said today he put up 6 flights, took out 4 airplanes, and came back with 4 airplanes.
I've been doing the same thing I've always been doing here lately on the computer. I'm getting so much garbage emails it takes me. I get like 200 to 250, 300 a day, and
Wow.
I got to figure out how to put a choke on it because.
Yeah, you do. That's a lot.
But there's always good stuff. I got some stuff I'm going to share from Mars Legrand down in New Zealand.
All right.
And I'll share it later after.
Okay. Yeah, I see he's in the chat box, so he's with us.
Yeah. He sent this and asked me to share it with you guys. So.
Oh, cool.
I'm quite impressed with his top there and his new bench, his new table.
Let me show up on. Let me show Howard. We can make him. I pinned him. Let's see what happens. See, when I pin him, it just goes blank.
Yeah, it did it for me too.
Don't know why that is. Maybe because he's not speaking.
I think he must have a poor connection or something because he keeps going in and out.
Okay, well, we'll just
I lost him now.
yeah, we'll just skip it. Maybe some other time. I know what the last time he flew, we got a chance to see it, and I saw most of the maneuver.
I lost him completely.
Yeah, I just see his name now. I don't see anything but his name.
I got him listed as a non-contributing, person.
Huh.
Yeah.
All Howard is a blank screen.
Okay, well, hopefully he'll come back. Maybe it's a poor signal. He's outside flying, so I don't know what his internet reach is like out there to the circle.
Well, I can tell you, I did talk to Tim Westcott over the weekend, and he's the designer of the Tut. And I think most of you guys know that Howard had input into that design as far as specifications.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did send me the latest file to burn into the microcontroller. So I have that now. So we talked for a while. He's okay with me building these. He still remains, all of the intellectual property owner and designer, and I'm just manufacturing them for him or for whoever wants to purchase them.
Well, we have like 10 viewers. We'll get more, but you want to tell briefly what the Tut does and how much it is and how to contact you to order. I know you want to get up front, and you're waiting.
I'm gonna put some additional information. Tim Westcott allowed me to add to his posting on Stunthangar. So I will be doing that soon. But briefly what it is, it's a timer for electric motors on control line airplanes. And like I said, Howard came up with the specification for it. So it has two modes. It has a AMA mode and a FAI mode. And so what it does, it puts the airplane in a constant speed for takeoff. And then there are different timers you can set up. So after say 5+ minutes or something, then you can set it up so it starts looking for the cutoff loop. And then you can do a cutoff loop, and then certain time after that, the engine will shut off. And Howard makes a unit called a Bicus, and that has all the LED indications to go with the Tut unit. Right now, I'm starting out at $75 for the Tut unit, plus shipping, actual shipping cost, whatever that is. And to start out, we're just doing in the continental United States shipping.
Very good.
So, also, there's a pretty long lead time on chips, so don't expect, I don't have stock on everything, so don't expect them in the real near future, because it's going to take a while to get chips because of the pandemic. So yeah, if you want to know my information as far as how to get a hold of me, it'll be posted on that posting for Tim Westcott's posting for the Tut. In the real near future, I'll put all my information on there.
Now, for those who are not a Stunthangar member or who can't get or don't even know what Stunthangar is, can they maybe a comment or reach you on your YouTube channel? Do you want to tell me your YouTube channel?
Yeah, my YouTube channel is TOM RAMMEL. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment there, I'll be notified of any comments on there.
Great, fantastic. I heard someone say something else. What was someone chiming in to say?
I just opened my mouth at the wrong time.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Hey, Jeff Riley out there in the chat box says, good evening. Good evening, Jeff. Good to see you. So you have Marcel out there,
Yeah.
Montana farmer, and Jeff Riley. Thank you very much. And Howard went away, so hopefully he'll come back. So now, Mike, you're working on something, right, Mike? What are you working on?
I'm kind of working. I made new ribs for the Excalibur, and if I can set aside a place to put a building table up, I'm going to use my new aluminum tubes and jig and build the wing and get that thing built and covered. So I've got something to fly to find out where I'm at.
Yeah.
Can I see one of your ribs there, Mike?
Came out a little better this time.
Oh, those look good.
That does look good. Let me pin you up so you'll be. Matter of fact, John, let me pin you, John. So if you have built an Excalibur, maybe you two might want to share some comments.
Well,
I've got a few on the tail end. I'm going to have to shim up a little bit. I cut too deep, but
yeah. Well, looking, just remember that sharp leading edge.
yeah.
Blunt it as much as you can after you put the leading edge piece on.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 3/8 square, and I'm going to probably take it almost halfway back and round it there.
Yeah. Yeah. But they look good. Your channel, your spar places and your turbulator spars look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that last set, they were all over the place. And I said, this isn't going to work.
Well, it looks
I
good.
want a flyable airplane.
You chose a good little profile to fly it. And not only that, what's nice about it is you can enter it in profile, you can enter it in classic, you can enter it in Pampa, and it actually flies good enough that it can compete in all of them.
Yep. And what's going to power it was going to be a Super Tiger T2135, but that's actually going to power it.
Lower it down a little. Lower it. What is that?
G2140.
Oh,
The baffle piston.
35 would be plenty, but yeah,
The 40, I think, actually will be a little more tameable because it's not it's a baffle piston, double ring.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be good.
So it'll be a little more tameable, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, it should come
That
out
other
pretty
end is a
light.
combat rat race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should come out pretty
To
light.
activate
Mark,
your Zoom account. So.
or Mike.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
being light, that 40 will jerk it around real good. Hi, Philip.
Howdy,
Hey,
howdy.
Phil. How's
Hey.
it going, Phil?
Thanks for coming in, Phil, and thank you for
Hey.
coming in, Denny and Walter.
Oh, wow.
Thank you
We
very
got all
much,
kinds of
guys.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Everybody at once, looks like.
Yeah.
I have not found the motor.
Okay.
I do have one more place to look. But if you knew what I went through today to get through it. Anyway, I tried to call
Okay.
Charles and tell him I don't have any more ideas. And then I was out walking the dog and he tried to pull my shoulder off. And
Lovely. That's
I came
always
up with
fun.
one more place. I just come off 11 weeks of physical therapy. I think he set me back about 6. God, they hurt. My shoulders hurt. But anyway, he decided he saw a squirrel and he decided he's going to chase it. He's fast, let me tell you. And he's strong. You'd think he was a sled dog. Anyway, I got one more place to look. I could have gone tonight and looked, but I'm tired. I looked about 3
Don't
hours
worry
today.
about it. Whenever you can send it, send it.
I'll do it. As soon as I can find it, it's yours. it's supposed to still be here. I haven't done anything with that motor. I only recently got on the kick of I'm not going to use all these motors. I need to get rid of them. I found, I'm ashamed to say how many Red Hat 35s, a dozen of them. Dozen Red Hat 35s I didn't know I had. I found 2 Torpedo 35s, greenheads. I found all kinds of motors, but I have not found that Johnson yet. But I'm still looking.
Okay.
I still, as many motors as I looked at today, it's hard to believe, but I still have more to look at.
So it's funny you talk about those red, just mentioning those redheads. I went, some of you hadn't got on yet, but I actually went flying today.
I did too.
I got 6 flights in. I took 4 airplanes. I took my P-40, the Tudor 2, a yellow and white plane I bought from Mike. I don't remember. I don't know what it is. And my dad's Cosmic Wind with that 57 Redhead on it.
Yeah.
Got out there, so I flew the P-40 first, then the Tudor, and the yellow and white plane. Well, they all 3 got LA-46s on them.
Yeah.
Got out there, primed them. Said, boom, 1 pop, they started, and I flew. I'm like, man, this is great. Got that Cosmic Wind out. I said, I'm gonna fly daddies. He said, all right. Same thing. I primed it, put the glow stick on it, popped it 1 time, it started up and never let back. That thing's 10 years old. I hadn't been started in 10 years. I started it the other day on, had a video on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook. It had ½ inch of dust on top of it. I got it down off the rack up here. And I went out there and I said, okay, told Brian, my brother, he got 1 flight in, but because I'm going to try to hand crank it. If not, I'm going to put the starter to it. It's all right. So boom, it fired right up. I'm like, all right, let's hook the
It's
lines
scared
up
of that
and go.
starter.
Huh?
It's scared of that starter. It ain't
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, but that thing's a 1957, and that's the damnedest motor I've ever seen. It's been the most consistent engine we've ever had.
Just don't put a muffler on it.
Mm-mm.
Like a
No.
They don't like,
No.
I've got a Big Art 2 muffler that's made for a Red Hat 35. And the only Red Hat I've ever tried to run it on that it would run on, I've got 2. One that GMA built for me. I cannot think, George Aldrich built it. And it's and McGass, thank you, because I hadn't been able to talk all day. It's a McGass 35, and I have one that Red Gunning chromed a piston on for me 50 years ago when I first got into a 35. And that one will run on that muffler, but that's the only 2 out of, I've got more than a dozen. I just found a box today of a dozen, but I have a few Red Hat 35s.
My
That's the
LA is
only
the only
2
thing
I've ever
I put
had to run
mufflers
on.
on.
Well, they'll all, most of them will run on it, but doggone that thing don't want to. But what I can't find, I've got a box of Fox 35 somewhere, and I found 2. That's it, 2 Fox 35s. I should have a bunch of them. That's all I ran for 10 years.
Didn't you give a bunch away here a year ago?
Well, I did, but I should still have more.
Okay.
I had way over 100 motors at one time. I'm well under that now. I've give away 26 and I've sold 6, but there's still plenty down. I still got more than I'll ever use. I've got motors I've never even started. So yeah, that's the reason I don't play golf or gamble or any of that stuff. I don't have hobbies. I have obsessions, and I know that, so I don't do anymore.
I can appreciate that too. Hey Tom,
Yeah.
Michael Gell says he just subscribed to your channel, and he'll look at it later. And then Marcel Legrand says, "Hi John, I have a question. What size tanks do I need for the twin Pathfinder to do the pattern, please?"
Well, it seems to me that we was running about 3 ounces or in that area on Gordon's and mine. So I used 4-ounce RC plastic tanks because I know how to plumb them and I like the way they work. So did Gordy. So those I'd say get you a 4-ounce plastic RC tank, and that's the tank you want to use.
Thank you.
And then get a hold to one of John's drawings where he shows you how to do that tank. Do it just like he says, and don't change a darn thing. It works perfect every time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I've got it on my, let's say it together, John, Pathfinder.
Pathfinder,
That's what I flew Saturday and today, and it flew great every time again. So,
Oh, that's good.
I'm glad you're all getting to fly. I'm hoping to fly at least once before spring.
Would
Yeah.
you guys like to see where Marcel Legrand is with his twin
Yeah.
Pathfinder?
he's
Yeah,
got that.
sure.
He's got that shoe again.
Let me.
I think I fixed all the sharing, so it should be all set up for you.
Looks like a
Wow.
veteran slipper.
That's
Can you
some
see it?
nice looking work.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I didn't know he was doing a twin.
Yeah,
Sharp.
yeah. He's got twin OS 15 FPs in there. He had
Oh,
to
show off.
He had to get him out of Japan apparently, or he
Well,
may
you-
have had
you-
one and he had to get the other one. But
You can still buy all the pieces and build them.
yeah.
Looks good.
I sent him an email, not an email. We had a message where he sent me a message and I returned one, talking to him about how to set up and get the nacelles. It's the same thing that Bobby Hunt talked about. Get the wing,
Yeah.
And in the case of the profile, you have to put the profile fuselage on first. You don't necessarily, what you want to do is get the wing located in the profile fuselage. So it's 0, to the line, you want the datum line. And then you put both of the, you slide both of these on the nacelles, and you make sure that the nacelles are dead even with the wing. Right here. I think it's flat right here. You can use a little torpedo or level or small level, but make sure it's dead level to that wing. You block the wing up and have it sit there, get everything, so everything's zero. Now, if you're gonna go with electric and you're gonna have counter rotating props, you don't have to worry about putting down thrust in the engines to get rid of some of the precession effects. But if you're using IC motors, unless you've got a left-hand crank in one of them, they're both gonna be turning the same direction. Now that's not bad. The Gordon's red one and my blue one both had engines that turned the same direction. Both of them didn't really have a big problem, except had to put a little down thrust in them to take care of the precession effects. So anyway, this is where he's at. These are just slipped into place right now but isn't that a nice wing?
That is.
You know? Now here's
I
another
think he's showing off.
Hey,
Well,
John,
I think he's a good builder.
I think he is too.
That's some nice work.
hey, John, on that down thrust you're talking about, do you have to do it with the sails, or can you cock the engine down?
You cock the engine down, you get the nacelles in there dead even,
Okay.
okay? And then you can.
So it
put a
would be
little
just
down
like,
thrust.
it'd be like turning the engine on to get your motor offset on a vertical mount.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
same thing. Okay.
right. But see, you got a flat spot right in here. And that gives you a place to set a little torpedo level.
Yeah.
because well, anyway, you just want to make sure the thing that makes a twin a good stunt ship rather than a okay is getting everything aligned properly. You want your alignments to be dead on. You want that wing to be dead on with your fuselage, even though all the fuselage is doing is holding the wing, but it's also holding the stab. And your stab, you want it either dead on, or you want to slip a little piece of 64th plywood under the leading edge in the slot so that it's got just a slight amount of positive and rather than any negative. You don't want any negative incidents in the stab. You want a little bit of positive. This is all, Dave Fitzgerald figured this all out. Had a big article in Stunt News about it. So anyways.
Was that Bob Whiteley?
Well, Dave figured out the positive stab. Bob Whiteley was the one that taught me about, we had a big post on Stunthangar about precession, prop precession. There's two types. They may be called something else, but there's two types that are related to prop precession. One is when you go up, precession is 90 degrees off from the direction you travel. So that wants to point your nose out, and that's okay because you're getting more line tension out of it. But when you give it down, it wants to point the nose in, and that's where
rudder
comes in.
Right. But the other precession is when you're flying level, or at any maneuver, the prop is turning, the ascending prop is taking a bigger bite out of the air on one side, on the ascending side. And what that does is, since it's 90 degrees out of phase, it makes the nose want to rise. And that's where your hunting comes from. One of the things that causes hunting. And so if you're going along level and you got a plane, you always have to keep giving it, fooling with it to get it to fly level. Put a little down thrust in there as Bob Whiteley's suggestion in his article, Things That Always Work. You put a little down in there, and that takes care of that part of that precession. Now there's other things, there are other trim things you can do and all of that. And some people don't pay any attention to the precession, and I'm fine with that. They can do whatever they want. I just know that mine fly right off the bench and they track through and they don't hunt, since I started doing this. Anyway, let's go to the next picture. There's the wing. We're looking, I don't think this is his new bench. I think this is the old one. Back here, this is the new bench. Did I go too fast on that?
No, just too fancy.
Yeah, this is on the new bench.
Yeah.
This is on the old bench. Okay, there's the wing, and here's one of the nacelles. He made them 3/4 of an inch thick instead of half, which I kind of like. It gives it a little more, and it's hollowed out, and it's sheeted with 1/8 balsa and has the hollow cavities. So it is light. It's not, I really like what he's done. There you go. It's taped together.
Oh, pretty.
But there it is.
That's really nice.
And there's some, the fuselage at 3/4 of an inch has got some nice presence to it. You can get nice round contours and a lot of things, it just looks nice. So
Big John, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before I forget what I got two computers going on there, but the two of them are about to drive me crazy. Anyway, on an electric twin, you still put up thrust in it or what?
No, you don't have to. You run them counterclockwise like Bob does, with the props turning in towards the fuselage.
So 1-to-1's fine.
And the other one going the other way. And that takes care, that cancels out all the precession. That's why twins fly so nice.
Okay.
I intend to have one of those.
So you need to get them dead on with the thrust line and the line data for the fuselage, dead on.
Mhm.
Because if you got a little bit of off, they're fighting each other. That's why Bob does his, gets it all there, blocks it up, gets it all level, and then he slides the cells in and lines them up before, and then glues them in place. Because that has to be, if you want a top performer, that has to be, both of them have to be lined up with the wing and the thrust data, all of that.
But on this, you wouldn't put the outboard side, have the outboard wing, outboard engine was tilted out a little bit on the ignition one.
Well,
You wouldn't do that on the electric?
I wouldn't do that on the electric, and I don't think what happened, because Gordon didn't put that on his, and I put it on mine, and then virtually you couldn't tell any difference between the two when we had an engine out situation. So and have a situation where the inboard engine quit, we had no problems with it. So I wouldn't even bother putting the out thrust in this engine unless you want to put just a little bit, just to make sure you didn't have any in thrust.
No, I'm building 0-0.
Yeah. Let's see if he's got another picture in here. Okay, there's that OS 15. He hasn't run
all of his building talents.
He's got some pretty good talent, doesn't he?
He does. That's beautiful.
He's fast. There's I think he tore that open. I don't know why, but that was, I think maybe that was one of the first that he put in, and he didn't have enough room for the engines that he had. He had some really nice engines. I think they're 23s or something like that, but he didn't have enough room for the engine and the tank. So anyway, he'll probably correct me on that when he on the chat. But anyway, that's just tested out his engine mounting, I think. Oops, back up. I already saw that one.
Oh, there's Howard.
And you can get another look at the fuselage on this one.
Yeah.
And the wing.
Well, I can build pretty or I can build fast. But I can't do both.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, anyway, that's pretty much his stuff to share.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for sharing it.
I'll close out here. Oh, right there. There we go.
Hey, Carl, thanks for coming in. I know you're muted. That's okay. I just want to let you know. Thank you for coming in, Carl.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think Howard is flying.
Yes, let me pin him up. See if it works this time. Now he's inverted, obviously.
Yeah, he must have that camera down in the grass.
Yeah, and the grass looks tall, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Quit flying and mow your grass, man.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Too bad we can't see the bottom of the circle to see how round it is, but it looks like it's pretty round.
Knowing Rush, it's pretty round.
Yeah.
How do I get it to just lock on his screen?
Try the speaker view.
Well, the speaker view, anybody talks, why it changes to them. You need to go to gallery.
I think
I got it. I figured it out.
I think because I pinned him, it doesn't matter. It's not changing on my computer.
All of a sudden, I've lost Phil Bailey's picture.
Well, it was in here twice, and maybe you lost just one of them.
Yeah, I got to trying one of these two computers off.
There's triangles.
Yeah, they were nice looking triangles.
The grass is almost to 45 degrees, gives you good.
Good point.
Oh, nice intersection.
Yeah.
Good intersection. Really good. All of them. They were within a foot of each other, they look like. Nice having that grass here. Oops, it lets us know about his intersections. Well, those weren't bad, but
Right.
they weren't perfect. Oh, Howard
Well,
went black on them.
you know, they say perfection is in the bottom of a gallon of fuel. We just don't know which one. So
Yeah,
we have to keep practicing.
I heard it's at the bottom of a 55-gallon drum.
You've been talking to Paul Walker.
Well, too bad we don't see him. We just see the name, Howard Rush. Ah, well. Well, while we can't see it, let me just catch up on the chat box. Jack Snabley says hello all around the world, just saying hi. And Microgal says he sounds like Gary Cooper in Pride of the Yankees. I don't know
Who's that?
I don't know who Microgal is referring to, but he says he sounds like Gary Cooper in Pride of the Yankees. I think it was Phil, when Phil's audio was kind of screwy.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's referring to.
Oh, I see. I got two Phil Baileys now. That's an important man. It's on here twice.
Yeah.
No, that's somebody that don't know how to turn one of these computers off. See, I got the audio coming in my ear through this one, and I don't know if I got sound over there. So if I drop out,
I don't think you got it.
I'll come back. But I'm gonna turn this one off because this is getting maddening even for me.
All right.
Hey, Charles,
Yeah,
are you gonna be flying on Friday?
absolutely. God willing.
Okay. All right, I'll see you up there then.
All right. So Stuart. Stuart
Well,
should
for
be
some
there,
reason,
and
my
Gary.
camera.
So Stuart should join us, and Joe should join us as well.
All right, great. Did you guys fly today?
No, didn't fly today. Could have, but I had too much going on.
Did you ever get your fuel straightened out?
Yeah, I believe just a stubborn motor. I don't think it really was the fuel
There we
after
go.
all.
Okay.
It's a
Cool.
hard-headed
Okay, good. Got it working.
type of thing. So, hey, Walter, you been working on your airplane, Walter? Have you done anything to yours? I know you had shown some.
Oh, yes. Today, I burnt probably half a gallon of fuel. And I know
Wow.
that's not a lot, but I spent a lot of time on that plane today. I walked away dizzy and learned a lot. I found out that I needed to add a little bit more weight to the outside wing, and played around a lot today with prop size. And what's interesting is when I was at the Nats, they gave me 11.7 prop, and I've been struggling getting the plane to fly even 6-second laps. It's been pretty slow, and I've been getting some loose lines occasionally. And then I went down to 10.6. Then I pushed it up to 10.7 to get some increased lap time, and made sure I was maximizing the performance of the engine, I think. And now I'm realizing I think maybe I'm playing around with 5-second laps on on the 10.7. And I think ultimately, when this thing gets worked out, we'll probably be back at 11.7 where they started me at the nets to get about a 5.2, 5.3 second lap. But I was having some trouble with some loose lines on inverted flight, and making, well, on inside loops, and I think it's been solved with a little bit more. I think it was an easy fix. I think it was solved with a little bit more outside weight. So hopefully that's going to solve it. There's not a warpage someplace, but I think we're, after all that time, I called it a day with an intact ship. So
Smart man.
right.
Very good. When you start getting dizzy, that's a good time to stop too.
Right. The old man just, yeah, he's going to need meclizine when he starts playing with this thing really seriously, I think.
I know you know what. I know where you know how to get that stuff too. Being a
Yeah, I think I can find some.
Yes. Oh, that's funny. So what engine do you have, and how long in lines are you flying?
I'm flying a Brodak 40 with a muffler, and I'm using 60-foot lines. And the last few flights were running around 5 seconds. And I was getting good line tension. So the first, I'm going to be very conservative and take it slow. I know that you guys probably could have fixed it immediately, but it took me a little bit of tinkering. And so I think it's coming around.
You know the difference between,
but I'm running right at 5 seconds, 5.03.
That's pretty good.
What's that, Phil?
You know the difference between this, I've got an offset in here, an echo, and it's driving me crazy. But anyway, you know the difference between somebody telling you how to fix it and you fixing it yourself? You'll remember if you fix it yourself.
Just put my pizza in.
All right.
You gonna have a pizza pie, John?
Yeah, it'll be ready in about 15 minutes.
Oh.
Because this is an airplane group, it's a Red Baron pizza, you know.
I gotta remember that one.
That's
pretty good.
I'm gonna actually require we just get Red Baron pizza for now on. They are good too.
Yes, they are.
It's not a bad thing.
You guys are too many.
Howard, they can't see him.
Well, I didn't want the little M&M biplane come out.
Well, let me see. Let me catch up on the chat box. So Michael says yes. So I was talking about Phil.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
Okay,
minute,
I gotta go back to the other one.
You need to say
Turned it off, but I didn't turn it off right.
I'm just going to mute you, Phil, so you don't make any other noise. And so when you get ready, just unmute the mic, Phil. You're muted, just in case. Well, that's great to hear, Walter, about your outing today. That's awesome.
Who's still flying?
That's Howard Rush.
Wish we could see him.
See him still.
This must be another flight. I'm sure it's not the original flight.
And we still have no picture.
Yeah, it's too
He
bad.
is. He's got like a 3-gallon gas tank on that thing.
You can pack those electrons a lot tighter, you know.
Yeah, it's electric.
Oh, is it?
Where'd Denny go? Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Hi, Denny. What you working on, Denny?
Oh, wow. Okay.
See Denny.
Cool.
I don't see Denny.
Ooh, what is that?
All right, I don't see him and I don't hear him. What's going on?
He's there.
He's muffled or muted.
There he is. I see him now.
What is that, Denny?
This is a smoothie I built a couple of years ago. This is actually started life as a Brodak Arc, almost ready to cover smoothie.
Right.
And I wanted to make it a prototype for a possible Brodak product. I'm going to try to talk John into it. Basically, everything comes apart. The tail bolts on, the wing bolts on, similar to what I showed you guys in the past. And the idea was, I was hoping we could get to the point where, John was getting, was almost ready. And especially with electric and stuff, you can put an electric motor in the fuselage, in the box, and not have to worry about it greasing up the works or anything like that. What I was hoping for was to get the equivalent of a one of the RC ready to flies. You literally buy the airplane complete with the motor, the ES, everything but a battery in it. Take it out, buy it with a set of lines even and handle. You go out to the field, put your battery on charge off your cigarette lighter while you bolted the airplane together and stuff like that. And by the time the battery was hot, you'd be able to go fly.
Oh, that's a shame you didn't.
Sales pitch anyway. Really didn't go anywhere with it. So it just happens to be, heaven forbid, if I actually can make it to Las Vegas, it'll be because this airplane breaks down in small enough pieces.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
That would be great, Denny. You come
That's
out to
neat.
Las Vegas. That happens. That would be awesome.
That is neat.
Just a small, to be an earth beater or anything like that. But the cool thing about it is that if I took it to Vegas, I could fly it in Classic and Pampa. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't fly it in profile though.
not in profile.
I don't think he's having a profile class either. So
Oh,
he has an old time stunt, classic, I think Super 70s on Saturday, and then Pampa on Sunday.
doesn't this smoothie qualify for old time stunt?
No, not if it has flaps. Wait a minute. Maybe it does.
I think it was published before the end of 1952.
Well, if it was, then it's legal.
I wish somebody could check on that. I'm going off an old memory,
It's the only kind I got anymore.
I know, me too. But I mean,
I can't remember my memory.
I had no clue when the smoothie actually came out.
I can't remember either.
can somebody want to do a search on, see when the smoothie, I drew the darn plans for the smoothie for Bob and had a lot of conversations with him. And he actually had built and flown the smoothie before he went on his tour to England, because that's when the first kit came out while he's over there, and he was a little upset because they changed it.
Heard he was a whole lot more than a little upset.
Yeah.
You see that? How quickly that thing came apart?
Wow, that is cool. Denny, you're a freaking genius.
Wow, that is pretty phenomenal, Denny. Hey, Jeff Riley, if you're listening, I know you have the smoothie kit. We traded that engine for the smoothie kit. So can you tell me what does it say what the year that was built? Or I know that's the Brodak original smoothie, but it probably might be something on the box, or maybe in the instruction book might say about the date.
It would be the one with the upright engine, which is what the Brodak version is the upright engine version.
Yeah. That's what it was. The inverted engine was the later. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the upright engine version, the Brodak version, may very well be old time legal.
That one and the 52 Nova are the only two flapped airplanes I can remember.
Denny, I
that
think you're
are legal.
Denny, I think you're
I've got a,
muted.
You talking about the Bob Palmer smoothie?
That's it.
Yeah.
Hold on one second here, see if it says it.
yeah,
Walter?
You have Tom Morris's book on classic legal airplanes. It's in there. I remember seeing it. I just don't know where my book is, or I'd go get it. I may have loaned it to Tom. I can't remember.
That book has all the plans or planes from the classic era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
He sure did. He sure did. Tom
I wonder
Morris
if
did a
they'll ever
lot
do
more for us than he ever got credit for.
I wonder if they'll ever do bring that out again and they could add the new ones that have been brought in since then.
I don't know. I wish they would, because there are some that aren't in it.
Yeah.
Philip, you probably know this. How big is a Colossus?
I don't know. I think it's 63 inches, but I don't know for sure.
Oh,
but it's big.
Huge plane. Wow.
I have a big one. I have one that's put together downstairs, or it's almost all the way together, and it's as big as an Impact. Wingspan wise, it's as big as an Impact, and maybe bigger, because I had to put the two of them. I had one small space left, and I put the two of them in there this about noon so that I could move. I didn't realize I had so many boxes of plans, but plans out so I could get to that box I told you those motors were in. And I mean, my wife says she knew I had that many. Anyway, it's a mess. And I've got more stuff than I ever realized I had. But it's a big airplane. I'm gonna have a 60 in mine. Heck, with a 51, I'm gonna put a 60 in it. It's probably a double star or a stalker, one or the other, but it'll be a 60.
Wow. If I was to fly Classic, I would like to fly a big plane. When I've flown Classic, I don't like going from a big plane like my Strega down to a small plane like a Chipmunk. It's really hard for me to do that adjustment. So I thought if I had a Colossus, I know the Shark's available too. That's a big.
Shark's a fine flying airplane. I have one of those too, but it's not painted. That's one of my shame planes.
How long has it been in that condition?
We won't talk about that, John. Charlie Reeves brought me the plans to that. I don't remember what year it was, but it was the first year of the Tifton, Georgia East Coast Golden Oldies contest.
Let me interrupt for a minute. Look at what Denny's showing us.
Yeah, he's showing us the thing in pieces. Yeah, I think
I can't see him. I can't see him.
You can't see.
Oh, that is cool.
You want a laptop, Phil, or are you on your?
I'm on a laptop, and I can see everybody else, but I see now. I can see him. There he is. He popped up all of a sudden.
But now you can't see the plane because he's not showing the plane. But he had the plane on the floor.
No, I see you. You've been showing the whole time. Oh boy, look at that.
Hey,
Oh,
Bill,
man.
I can't find it. The plans are showing a Vico 29 or 31. So whenever they come out with that.
Yeah, it's old. John Shark's been downstairs at least 15 years. I don't know how much longer, but it's been there at least 15 years.
Is it covered?
It's covered, but it's not painted. It's covered in tissue though, instead of polyacrylic.
Yes.
Nowadays, all my wings are polyacrylic and everything else.
Take off, Walter.
You leaving?
Yeah, he has to get up in the morning. So thank you, Walter, for coming in.
Walt, take care of yourself, buddy.
Here, Walter.
Okay, Walter.
Yeah.
So Charlie says, I'll take a look. If it's not on the plan or the box, I'll look it up. And then Minnesota Mike says the smoothie was in the 50s. Palmer made it.
Yeah,
I can't
think
remember.
it was before 1952 is when it was
Mike,
published.
Mike, what we're looking at, if a plane is published before December 31st of 1952, then it is old time legal. But if it's January 1 of 53, it's classic. And the funny thing is there's several airplanes that are not, they're not listed. We're not listed as being published until 1953, like the top, I forgot the name of it now, but anyway, it's a plane that looks like a Boxcar Chief, except it has flaps. But there's pictures of the guy that designed it, flying it and winning a contest with it in 1951. Then the sport wing, I was told I couldn't fly my sport wing because it was after 52, but I've been told that there was a 54-inch one that was in the Nationals in 51.
Well, I think
And then there's several other planes like that. There's several planes that weren't published, weren't The Zilch X was not published until 53, but there's pictures of Staff League winning a contest with it in 51, not 2, 51.
Yeah,
So-
I think Phil, and under the Pampa rules, if you can show that kind of evidence, they'll allow you to fly it. It's the MISC rules that are so.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is it MISC or MISKI?
Miskey,
Yeah.
John Miskey. This year will be the last of the John Miskey contest. So, Garden State Circle Burner contest, but
Gotta go
But
get
there's
my
other-
pizza.
All
there's
right.
others that use his rule. There are others that use his rules though.
I got an update from Jeff Riley. It says 1951 by Bob Palmer.
There you go.
Smoothie. And then Jeff Riley says, hi, Mike. And Minnesota Mike says, hi, Jeff. Okay. So
Hi to both of you, rascals.
Everybody.
Yeah. Hello. Excuse me. I got to put my like in. I forgot.
oh, thank you. Yeah, speaking of likes, we have 15 likes right now. And we've had as many as 15 viewers. So that's good.
I put mine in.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eddie.
Wow. I tried to go to Stunthangar, and the picture that came up, I can't say on the air, but let me just say this young lady is well put together. I don't know what that's all. I don't know what that's.
That the banner on the
I'm gonna get. I'm gonna come out. No, I've got to try to find that. Here, see, it's supposed to be there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Where are you? No, I didn't get it. I didn't get it this time for some reason.
So Minnesota Mike said, I had a smoothie in 2000. I think it was at Clovis contest. Bob came up to me and talked all about it. Oh, that must have been awesome.
He was an awesome guy to talk to.
Yeah, to have Bob talk to you about the plane. I remember seeing Bob Palmer in the Wendy Unowski video when he flew his B-25 at Brodax.
Yeah.
He was going to take Bob Palmer out for ice cream.
Yeah. I tell you what, all those guys, it was kind of fun. One of the contests I went to, when you have somebody like George Aldrich come up and say, can I launch your plane? You're flying an over and he comes up, can I launch your plane? Wow. You can fly my airplane. Yes, sir. Wow. So I had my wife take a picture of Bob George launching the airplane for me. That was pretty neat.
Now, was he launching a smoothie too?
No, he was launching my Nobler.
Oh, your Nobler. Okay.
Yeah, my Nobler. I've never had a smoothie. I've always loved them. I've never built one. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've always wanted one, and then I gave it away. It's just strange. I didn't give it right. Oh, look at that.
Last year at the swap meet we went to,
that looks good.
Guy bought one with an engine for $20.
What was the price tag on that, Eddie?
$20 an engine.
Oh man!
Wow.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
He paid $50 for it, and I was going to offer him $60 for it.
What do you got there, Tom?
I gotta turn my background off. Hang on a second.
All right. Yeah, I thought I saw a blue plane there, for instance, for a second.
Yep.
Oh, turn this down. What are the things I go through to put a like in? Good gracious.
I appreciate
it. All right, it's in now.
All right, so Tom, you're gonna show us your your smoothie.
Oh, that's pretty.
That is nice. Smoothie. Now, how long have you had this? It's the first time I've seen it.
Probably 40 years.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Red Hat 35. That's pretty.
I did rebuild it maybe a couple years ago.
Well, it sure looks nice.
Looks nice.
Thank you.
All right, so you're gonna talk me into going buying those darn things, aren't you?
I'll tell you, you buy one, buy the Brodak one.
Oh, I intend to. I
Have
tell
you-
you,
Go
I tell
ahead.
you what I did the other day. I bought a consolidated kit. And I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I was glad one of the other guys saw that I got it and went crazy, had to have it. I didn't make my $10 on it, but I'm gonna tell you what, I was so glad that he wanted it because that wood in that kit, all it was good for was templates. And that wood was so hard, you can make a baseball bat out of that thing.
Kind of like sterling wood.
Yeah, it was balsa, but it was hard as I couldn't put my thumbnail in it.
Oh, wow, that is hard.
It was hard. I ain't kidding you. I looked at that and I said, my goodness, I don't want to carve this. Jeez. That's a beautiful airplane, but it's labor intensive if you don't have good wood. I'm gonna have one of these days. Bob Galley, the one that got me to do my first outside loop, and he loved the you name it. That's what he called his because that's what the name was on the plans. So I'm gonna build one and put thanks Bob. See what happens. What are you eating?
Licorice.
Oh. Oh, I never could eat that stuff. It gets caught in my teeth and drives me crazy. Of course, with me, see, it's like if you're thinking about, think of driving somebody crazy like a golf game. If they ever get out of putter, I'm in trouble. But as long as they're still using the drivers, take it right by the hole. So anyway, and Big John got his pizza. All right.
You betcha. And
I
it's
have a couple
about- it's
questions,
a
you guys.
Red Baron, it's a Red Baron.
Mm.
And I'm flying high. It's delicious.
I tell you what, you want to find one, you want to find a good article to read. I think a few weeks back we were talking about good reads, and John alluded to it earlier. If y'all ever find the article, Things That Always Work by Bob Whiteley, read it. It's a good read. It tells you several things, and it's quite interesting.
I
And
have
it works.
the month and a year. I might be able to find it. I just don't know.
Oh man, I can't remember what I had for lunch today. My long-term memory is pretty good. My short-term, forget it.
Was in Stun News,
I think it was.
and it was
I think-
about 90, 92, 93, 94, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
And somebody, I mentioned it, and somebody posted it on Stunthangar. And so you might be able to do a search on Stunthangar.
Okay, I'll do
Well, I'll
that.
have to look on there for it then, because I'd like to read it again. I don't have it. I read it. It was like I say, it was in Stunt News many years ago, and I read it at Tom Looper's house and sat and read that article and then had to go back and reread parts of it. Because I'd always built everything one-to-one, everything's got to be dead straight and level, because I'd always listened to well, I ain't gonna say who, but I listened to a few people who were very good stunt pilots. Nobody would argue with their credentials. Nobody. And they always told me, build everything straight, one-to-one. Don't put rudder offset in it. Don't put motor offset in it. Just make sure if you got to do something with a motor, put just enough outset in it to make sure it's not inset. That's all you want. And I don't know, I'd always built that way. And then I started reading Bob's article. And I said, well, I was just building a plane. It was a sport plane. In fact, it was a fancy pants. And I put I put a little bit of positive in the elevator, and I put a little bit of negative in the motor. And I was building that plane for my daughter. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the best flying little airplanes we ever had back those days. That darn thing had I put an Enya 35 on it because I figured its life expectancy was 5 laps maybe. My daughter had flown half A's, but she'd never flown a big one. Yes. If my daughter wanted to come out and whoop me to stunt contest in 6 months, I think she could do it. She can do anything she sets her mind to. One absolutely determined young woman. But anyway, the thing flew great. I was amazed. I was sick that I gave it to my daughter. And her boyfriend at the time, she was about 17 at the time. Her boyfriend come over and he'd flown stunt. There's nothing to it. That thing took off and did a wing over and went straight in on the other side and landed. He said it didn't pull up. She's sitting there with a camera on him. That thing hit the ground, and then he goes plop. Then he goes, I said, to fly to pattern, son, that should have been a not an And he just looked at me like, he said, I didn't think you was there when I did that. No, but Crystal was recording. She had one of the first cell phones that would record movies. And that was, I couldn't afford one for myself, but I got one for her. And showed me what happened. I couldn't believe it. He's talking about powdering an airplane. He destroyed that one.
Wow, it's too bad. Let me catch up on the chat box, you guys. So
hang on a sec.
So Minnesota Mike said that I had a smoothie in 2000. I think it was at Clovis. I read that already. Then Jeff Riley said I acquired a smoothie kit. Thanks, Charles. They wrote out it, building it old school, upright, Fox 35.
All right, now you're talking.
And Minnesota Mike says that's what I had in mind, Jeff. And then Mike Regel says, I started to ask a couple of weeks ago, were there any planes with flaps that were old time legal?
That one is.
What's the other one? 52 Nobler, the smoothie, and what's the third?
I can't remember the name of it, but it's a little boxy little thing. It was Stunt King, I think. Stunt King.
That was English.
Mm-mm.
There was an American Stunt King?
Yep.
I don't know that one. That don't mean nothing. I don't mean anything, but just the same.
And then Minnesota Mike said Clovis was the home for the Golden State Sun Championships back then.
Yeah.
And Jeff Riley says, I do like the trash can on the hood look. The upright old engine just seems to make the plane cool. And then Minnesota Mike says, yep, Jeff, back then Fox would burp. And then Jeff Riley said, thanks for the tip on the popsicle stick, Mike. All of the Fox runs great now. And yep, sticks works. And I can vouch for that. I put a popsicle stick in my Fox 35, but I didn't think it was a problem for an upright motor. I think it's just when it was on the side of a profile, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I did do that. Matter of fact, Carl, on that half-ass, I think I had a Fox 35 on that plane originally that I gave you. And I had the popsicle stick in that motor that I had in the half-ass that you have.
Well, it's a shame when they came out with that modification, nobody told us popsicle stick. Because I didn't do it for the longest time because I kept trying to figure out how big a stick, how thick's it got to be, how wide's it got to be.
Right.
And then I finally read somewhere popsicle stick and it dawned on me. Oh, crap. Okay. So I got popsicle. I went and bought a popsicle so I get the stick and put it in there and got it to fit, made it 1/8. I think it was 3/16 wide or something. And as thick as a popsicle stick and just the size that was fitting that port. And then I CA'd the stick to harden it up and to glue it into the motor. Put it together. And I don't think that motor's been apart 15 years. That thing still runs good. That sure took that.
Foxes that you lost though. Oh, sorry.
Do what now?
That's not one of the Foxes that's missing, is it?
No, I know where that one is. That's on an airplane downstairs.
I've got a problem here. I've got a dog that loves pizza.
That's no problem.
It is. Listen to him.
If you drop a piece on the floor, you don't have to bend down and pick it up.
Yeah,
Hey, John,
I don't drop a piece. It don't get to the floor.
that 5-second rule don't matter if you got a 3-second dog.
I mean that. John, I'm to the age now, if I drop it on the floor, I have a hard time picking it up. It's go get the sweeper and the thing and sweep it up in that. I don't have to even worry about going to get it. He not only eats it, he'll by golly clean the floor. I'm telling you what, this little scavenger is something else. He truly is a terrorist. My shoulders can attest to it.
Other side of the equation, I thought the inverted was a lot better looking airplane.
Oh, it is.
Well, it's a lot better looking.
For me.
But I don't think it really flies any better.
Remember the
I think-
kit box? He showed the airplane laid out stack on the side of it.
Yeah.
That to me just looked so cool.
I like the T-Bird one with the racing head,
Yeah.
shroud on the engine upright.
It's like the old Curtis D12, Curtis Conqueror or something like that. Straight pipes coming out the side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My only Thunderbird was an upright engine with a Fox 35 in it and had a peace pipe. If you remember what those look like.
I
Little
remember
pipe.
Oh my, that killed
Man,
any
that-
power it had.
No, I didn't. Instead of having a 35 on it, I had a 46 size on it. I cut down the fit, made it small, made my own strap for it, and even watered out the inside of it, and then took the outside and carved it. It just looked like a piece of chrome, but it was short lived. But it was a beautiful airplane while it lasted. That was when a guy got mad at me and stomped my airplane, and then found out I wasn't the one that did what he thought I'd done, and I stomped him. And then his father came over and asked me how much that airplane cost. He gave me the money, so I couldn't kill his son.
Oh, really?
Oh, I was upset. I spent the whole winter building that airplane, and he came over. I'd flown it 2 flights, and he came over and stomped it. Oh, I was ready to hurt somebody.
Should have anyway.
Do what?
This money, he's gonna need it. When
He was gonna need it. His father was gonna need it to buy his casket because I was determined I was gonna kill him. I
So
just
we have a question in the chat box. So what's the trick with the stick? So Mike Rigel, the Fox 35, at least on profiles, was notorious for a burp. And the solution for it was to put a stick, a popsicle stick, in the port inside the crankcase. And that's what we're talking about with the stick.
You're stuffing the crankcase.
yeah.
Stuffing the bypass.
The other big changes to it, you could buy. Fox themselves made and sold a stuffer backplate. That helped a lot. The stick helped a lot. And another thing that helped, I thought helped as much or more than any of it, was put either a very hot or a 4-stroke glow plug in it. And it just didn't burp near as bad.
I think Marvin Denny came up with the stuffer backplate.
Probably did. Marvin came up with the Hemi head too.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say
just
that.
when Fox made it, they didn't make it exactly like Marvin did. And I was out of Tucson talking to Marvin about it. He about had a conniption fit because they screwed it up and didn't do it right. So he told me he'd send me one if I'd send him my address. I never got it. He passed before we got to make it for me, but we lost a good fellow there.
Sure
Yeah.
did.
Hey, Lynn, thanks for coming in, Lynn. We was just talking about the stuffing the Fox 35s to get rid of the burp, the famous Fox 35 burp. It was notorious on profile models.
When you gave it down, it would almost quit. It would quit for just a second.
I started to say, what do you mean almost?
Yeah.
If a propeller hadn't already been spinning, I don't think the darn thing would come back. What kind of dog you got there, John?
He's a chug.
A pug and what?
Chihuahua.
Oh, I want to see him.
Okay. Come here.
A chug.
I've never heard of a chug. That's cute.
Oh, he's a
See what-
cutie.
Okay, come back. John, say something.
But there we are.
Oh, he got a Chihuahua head and a pug body. He's adorable.
Oh, he's fun too.
Looks like he's full of pizza.
Oh, what? Pizza, yeah. And he wants more.
Oh, I got to get to Utah. I'll show you how to spoil a puppy.
Well, Gordon used to have a miniature schnauzer like you have,
Oh, yeah.
and that was a fun little dog.
He is. My granddaughter got him out in the backyard today. We made him a 150-foot run out in the backyard. And he's got a shock absorber on all that mess. But we're throwing the ball. He'd go get it, grab it, bring it back to us. He is nuts. Man, this dog ran for an hour and a half. And we decided we were worn slam out. He's ready for more.
Mm.
He just little spring just don't wear down. Then he
They
comes
got-
in the he
they
comes
got
in the house and
springs
he's boingy 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 boingy.
Yeah, they got springs in their whole body.
They
This
do.
one, he's like an armadillo.
Not so much. Yeah.
I tell you what, this crazy little dog here is the tail wags the dog.
Mhm.
He starts to wiggle off or something, and his tail wiggles about twice, and it stops, and the rest of the dog it just shudders forward. It's weird looking. He's an incredible little dog, but when he goes outside and he stands, he's got that show dog stance, just really stretched out. Beautiful little dog. I can't imagine why anybody turned him loose.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is, because he's a great little dog.
I got this dog because somebody didn't want him. You know?
Yeah.
And he's just the most loyal. Oh, he's lazy as I am, which pretty lazy. But
I don't believe a
we're
word
a
of
good
that.
fit, I sit down. He's always on my lap. He's always laid out on my one leg to my knee, one or the other.
Yeah.
And, if I get up and move, he gets up and move. He's a great little companion. And he doesn't chase cars. He has no propensity for that. And I'm thinking when I take him out to I've taken him to Brodax, and he just sat there and watched. He didn't get upset, trying to chase anybody.
That's cool.
So yeah, he's pretty good around the airplane. So right now he's looking at me like, "You gonna give me another piece or not?" If he's a bigger dog, I'd be afraid.
Yeah, mine would chase anything that moved. If a leaf falls off a tree, and they're starting to here, they're not changing colors yet, but we're getting some leaves falling, and he goes after it. A squirrel, oh man, he wants to chase a squirrel. But anyway, let's get back to airplanes before our moderator decides to bring out the little biplane.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jeff Riley says he's saying this to Macragel. You can look on Stuka Stunt. Stuka Stunt is done, I believe.
No, they're still there.
They are? I thought they were done. Okay. He says you can look on Stuka Stunt, and they have a diagram with dimensions regarding the popsicle stick to stuff the crankcase of a Fox 35.
I'll have to look at that.
Mike says, I haven't been in that site in a long time. Is it still going? And I guess you guys were saying it's still going. Okay.
It's still up. Or it was the other day.
But Jeff Riley says,
When did they bring it back?
About 6 months ago. What was that, Lynn?
I didn't know it ever been gone.
Well, I heard for a long time that it was gone, but I don't know. I haven't even looked for it.
I haven't tried to get on it but once in so long, and I hit that as soon as I hit the button. I thought I didn't want Stuka, I wanted Stunthangar.
Right.
But whatever. It did come up, but
oh wow, that's cool.
Anyway.
Well, if it's up, that's amazing because there was some good information on there apparently.
Yeah, I hate for it all just to go away.
Okay. Well, maybe they've got it up and running again. That'd be good.
Yeah, it would. I'd like to see it. I'd like to look at it again myself.
How many remember the forum that was before Stuka Stunt? He was from was it down south, the Ceylon and that area,
Madagascar?
Not Madagascar. It's like goes from the one side of India in the Indian Ocean there, Maldives and all of that is in there.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, he was going to school here and he started a site, and it was the biggest site for control line at the time. When he left is when Stuka Stunt brought his up to take its place.
Well, that's pretty slick.
I wonder, he said he was going to hang on to it, and it, but I don't know. There was a lot of information on that site that was lost.
Yeah, it's usually the way it goes.
Jeff Riley says, I swiped the picture from them. If anyone's interested, I guess Jeff Riley could share it with you.
Yeah, Jeff. Lay it on us if you can. I'd love to see it.
If we can figure out how to see it.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I sent you your book and your plan. It's in the mail.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
You are a gentleman.
All right.
I don't care
hope
if
you
you're from
enjoy it.
Canada or not.
I hope you enjoy it.
I don't care
I'm
if you
sure
are
I
from
will.
Canada. Hey, I got a buddy that tells me that I was ragging on the fishing trip that he made. He says, that's all right. Next year or the year after, you're going to have to come with me. And we're going to go up through Saskatchewan. I said, wait a minute, that's Canada. I thought you said this was in New York. He said, no, the trout was in New York, but those are grayling and those are in Canada. I said, okay, I'm ready.
Well,
I do
that's
have
cool.
I do have a passport.
Perfect. You're good
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
Well, not yet though. Well, yeah, you can come here. We just can't go there.
Yeah, I can't figure that out.
No, either can I. That makes two of us.
I think it's a Hotel California situation. All right, American, you're up here. We hope you brought plenty of money because you can't go home.
Check out anytime you want, but you can never.
That's it. That's it. We are programmed to receive.
So Lynn, have you done any flying lately?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, we've been getting out every now and again in the past week. You know, like I usually go out just before dark at night and try to get a couple of flights because the wind drops with the sun. So as the sun goes down, the wind drops down. And so I try to get out and get 2 or 3 flights every night I can just before dark. And that seems to be the best time to fly. Because during the middle of the day, the way our field is situated and the way the trees are situated at our field, it's really hard to fly when it's windy because the air is really puffy and, oh man, you're just risking your airplanes every time out in the middle of the day. It's scary stuff.
Yeah, that's where Hobby Park is. It's if you're ever out there on a hot day and it comes a cloud burst, you know, you see it looks like you can just see it looks like a donut all the way around and the air is really turning. You can watch the air turn.
Yeah, and you can't tell where to place your maneuvers or anything else.
No.
Because you can watch there's flags on opposite sides of the field. One's blowing this way and the other one's blowing this way.
Yeah, you got a place like Hobby Park.
And it's just brutal. It's like I can't fly in this and I'm not going to risk good airplanes.
Yeah.
On a bad day. Like if it's coming from the other direction where it's open fields though, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just like flying in Muncie. It's like flying in open air. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's no problem. But when it comes off the trees, it just does this. And it's like, oh no.
If you guys have never flown in a park or a place that had trees close by and you've always flown in an open place, like we was talking about Muncie being, that's a wonderful place to fly. But the problem is you go to a contest somewhere and they have the air doing this and you're lost. But we fly in this all the time and we go to dead air and dead air is no problem. I mean, you know, nice 5 mile an hour wind and straight ahead.
Marvelous.
Yeah, we're in heaven.
That's like glory then.
Yeah.
Charles, they would love Gopher Gulch, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's where I was flying a couple weeks ago. They would love that. If you like what you're describing now.
Oh no, I don't like it, but I like to practice in it because you go to a contest and it's so much easier to fly when you don't have to worry about the airplane. I mean, you know, it's nothing. We went this morning. You see the whole top of your wing, one lap. Next time you see the whole bottom of your wing where you fly through your own crap. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's no fun.
But it does get you calmed down to where when you go to a contest and you get a little bump, you don't even think about it. You just keep on flying.
So on the chat box, Jeff Riley says, I can email it to John if he can share it. So John, look for an email from Jeff Riley.
All right.
And you can show a diagram of the popsicle stick dimensions.
What was that website again?
Stuka Stunt. Stuka, S-T-U-K-A.
Yeah.
Stunt. Stuka Stunt.
Because I can't find it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it last time I looked, but I haven't looked in a long time.
I stopped looking a long time ago as well.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's not there.
It hadn't been long. Well, I don't know. I guess long is a relative term. I can't even remember when it was that I looked.
All I can bring up is the Stuka stunt ships from Brodak and Stunthangar.
Okay.
Huh. Well, maybe it's down again, or maybe it is permanently down this time. I don't know.
Maybe the Newmans gave it up.
Could be.
Hey, I was watching a video today of Sparky and his buddy there, John, who were out flying this morning at wherever it is they go to fly. And I tell you, I feel so bad for Sparky's buddy. He can't seem to get the airplane to run the way he wants it to run. And I don't know what motor he's running. I don't know what tank he's
Enya
running
60.
or Enya 60.
Yeah,
61. I think.
61. Yeah.
Oh man,
And
That's supposed to be a pretty good engine. I thought.
It is once you get it broke in.
okay. So
That
maybe
motor's
that's
Ross, or is that a
That's
side
John's
job?
motor's not broke in good yet.
because what it's at, because it just takes off and it just wails. It goes off the ground and it just wails for the whole 7 minutes, and then it shut it down, and it's like, holy cow.
He flew one flight for 8 minutes.
Yeah, just go. Well, it's way over 8 minutes a lot of
He
times.
did
Just
the,
get
did the pattern and then
30
flew like-
laps after, 27
Yeah.
or 28 laps after the pattern. It's like it just kept
He
running.
said, I quit counting after 28, so I don't know how many I flew.
Well, not Wendy, Sparky has one of those motors too, or he was referencing one. Maybe it's not Sparky's, but they called somebody to try to figure out how to make it burn more fuel because they were doing the pattern on like 3 ounces.
Wow.
And he said it was burning so lean that he was really worried about burning the motor
Cooking
up.
it. Yeah, and you
Yeah.
can cook them. They'll cook.
Yeah, but he was
But I
trying
wonder
to figure
what kind of fuel he's running too. Like, I don't know what fuel he's running.
that. I
Seems
don't
to
know.
me like he might be running some fuel that's burning very hot.
He said it was
Must be.
10%.
Wow.
10% nitro, but how much
Yeah.
oil?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, like it's the oil content. I'm wondering, is he running 1111 or is he running all synthetic? Certain engines don't like certain types of oil, and you got to get that combination right. And a lot of times that's what it is. If he has the wrong combination of oil, the damn thing will just burn itself right up eventually.
Yeah,
I just felt bad for him because it's like, holy cow, that thing's just screaming. Screams for the whole 7 or 8 or 9 minutes that it runs. It just takes off. And on the last flight, I noticed he had it richened out. When he took off, it was much richer. And I thought, oh, this should be better. As soon as it got off the ground, it just screamed again for the whole 8 minutes.
Yeah, it sounds like it needs more break-in time.
Needs more break-in, or it may need different fuel or a different prop or something, because it's just screaming.
A couple of head gaskets. Probably
Yeah, that's what I would do too. That's the first thing I'd do is
I
put
heard
a
him
gasket.
say he had 10,000 in it and he was going to put another 10,000 on it.
Well, that's a good thing. That'll help.
Yeah.
It can't hurt.
Can't hurt it.
No, you're better to have too much head gasket than not enough.
Yeah.
Let
Hey,
me
guys.
interrupt for a second here. Jeff Riley said he just sent it to John. So John, you should be getting that email shortly if you haven't already.
Yeah, it hadn't got here yet.
And then Mike Rigel said, I was just looking for the site Lucas done. I couldn't find it. Is that name correct? Yes, it is correct, Mike Rigel.
It may be down. I mean, it's been.
Mike says yes. I think yes, regarding it's correct.
I can't
Hey,
remember
Howard,
the last time I
I,
looked at it. It didn't seem like it's been that long, but
Howard, I saw part of your flight. Your triangles look really nice, and your intersections look good. And see,
What is that?
I don't know what was that. I don't know whose it
Okay.
was. But, it looked good. What we could see.
look great, Howard. Your
A
intersection
little bit
real
we could
nice.
see. It looked great.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah,
I haven't looked at the data yet.
It was the camera was in the grass. We were looking literally up through the grass at it.
Yeah.
You look
The
pretty
grass
sharp.
was at 45 degrees. We could sure check out your triangles.
That's true. Lordy. Guys, what kind of thinner do you use in dope now? Butyrate dope.
I'm still using Randolph aircraft spruce butyrate thinner.
Thinner. I'm trying to find something a little less expensive. That stuff has gone ridiculous. But I may have to go back to it. I tried this HET 1500 and 1501, and they're just too darn hot. I gotta find something not quite so hot. We used to use one called 3608S, and that worked great.
What kind of dope are you using?
Randolph's,
Okay.
Brodak, Randolph's, same thing.
Okay.
But it's just the dang their thinner has gone stupid expensive.
Wow.
So I'm gonna try to find something I can afford.
What? Oh crap! What is it from Lowe's?
That's what I've got, and it's that stuff it's too hot too.
Is it?
Your gut is coming low.
It may just be that I need to shoot on a day that's not 90 degrees. So I didn't try shooting it. Today would have been perfect, but it kept every time I try to get ready to shoot, it started drizzling on us again. We went flying this morning and we flew through 4 showers in 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
So, but it was just gentle little showers. I mean, it was just mist, but the motors were making so much power. It was ridiculous. It just felt great. And the electric motor, I was scared to fly in rain. So I've heard too many horror stories, but the Tiger 51 on the Pathfinder, say it with me, John, Pathfinder. That way he gets his $1. That way he gets Pathfinder. That way he gets his $1.
You get $2 for a twin.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. It was flying great. The motor was running great. And the first time out there this morning, I screwed up, put 0 nitro in it and primed it. Couldn't get it to fire. So I drew all that out of it, put some 5% in it, and it fired up pretty, not super easy, but not bad. So my second flight, one of the guys was telling me, oh, here we go. Gonna be another 10 minutes. I said, I don't think so. And I got it wet and flipped it backwards and it was running. I don't know what it is about that motor. First thing in the morning, you got to burp it, but you go to the line after you burped it one time and it fires right up. I don't know what it is. It's the craziest motor I've ever had.
A lot of pipe engines that way, though.
Oh yeah, all the pipe motors are, but I mean, for a muffled motor, I just Tiger 51 laying on its side. I just couldn't believe it's that stubborn. But everybody kept telling me your rings wore out. Your rings wore out. It's a new ring. It's only got 20 flights on it, and it's just really now seating in where it really pops good. But first thing when you get there, that thing is stubborn. But I finally think I figured out what happened. I think I put after run oil in it, and you need to take the plug out of it, clean it out, and then put it back in there. Because once I did that, it fired right up. Jack, you little ham.
Is this a good engine?
He's trying to get in the picture. What is it?
Just 1 second. Just 1 second, Eddie, because John's been waiting to say something. Yeah, John, go ahead.
I just wanted to see if you could let him know that I haven't got that email yet. He might not have got it to the.
Yeah, and then he sent me a text. I have it on my phone. I got to figure out. Maybe I'll just share it myself, and then I'll get to it. Yeah, go ahead, Eddie. Let me get this picture.
What is that, Eddie?
One. Where is he?
Hey, let me see the exhaust.
Oh, it's got an engine.
Is there anything inscribed on the bypass on the other side? It one thing I know, I don't believe it's an Enya.
It's a K&B 61.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. K&B or Vico for pretty much the same thing.
Got the screw in the back. I don't know what it's for.
That's so you
for
can
disassembly.
Oh, okay.
That's how you get the rod out of the piston.
Oh, okay.
The Super Tiger 60 has that same screw.
Yeah.
That KB 61 is a good engine for stunt, believe it or not.
It's heavy, but it's good.
I believe it.
I say it felt a little heavy.
Hey guys,
saw when driving a stock Strega last week, Fred Staley, he had a 60 KB 61 in his, but he had a gold head or a gold cylinder.
Yeah, it's a newer one. Yeah.
If you guys have ever taken a Tiger 60 apart, you may know this, but I didn't. If you ever try to take one apart and you can't get the rod out of the piston, you can take the glow plug. You can take the needle valve out, take that screw out of the back of the motor, take the needle valve out of the motor, and screw the Super Tiger needle valve into that rod, the piston rod, and then just work it easy and pull it out of there. I never knew that. As many of them as I've had to put new rings in, I never knew that till recently. I was talking to Tom Dixon. I said, I'm sitting here fighting the darn Super Tiger 60, trying to put a new ring in the fool thing, and the rod just will not come out. Anyway, it won't come apart. And he said, well, why are you doing it that way? Put the dang needle valve down in. I thought, duh, okay. And it works. So I don't know if they're all like that, because I've only done one. And he did ask me, was it a newer one or an older one? But it worked on mine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Howard, what I got to see your flight, I especially like your intersections on your horizontal 8. You're within 1 foot. You're within 1 foot, it appeared, on the intersection. It looked real good. What we could see of your triangle looked real good. The grass was right at about 45 degrees, so we had a good gauge on that. But there's a lot of your flight I didn't get to see. It just went black.
Yeah, I don't have very good Wi-Fi out there.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was, why it kept going away.
We had your sound though. We could hear it go by.
Howard, what motor are you running?
Plettenberg 2016.
Plettenberg. That sure sounds good.
What battery are you taking with that?
Thunder Power 6S 2800.
How much do you have left after you've made a run? Do you know?
It uses about 2,000 milliamp hours. So 800 are left, I reckon.
That's good. It's sized about right. What size prop you running?
An Igor 12-inch.
I got to get some of those.
On Badass side, I look under the 6S, and it seems like the 6S, they want to take smaller props. Am I seeing something wrong there or what? Because I see it on a 3S, they were running big props, you know? And then yeah, go ahead.
Isn't that a function of the airplane rather than the battery?
I'm not sure. You know, I'm pretty new to electronics. And so, you know, I'm just trying to figure some of this stuff out. If you go on their Badass site and you take the same motor and you look at it under 3S or a 4S, and then you look at it under a 6S, and it seems like the best performance where you're in the green is with smaller props.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the KV rating on the motor, when you have a 3S, your battery voltage is lower.
Okay.
It makes sense. That makes sense. I've wondered the same thing. That's the first time I've heard anybody explain it where it made any sense.
I reckon, yeah, this is for a given motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I was just curious because, you know, I'm still learning on electronics. I'm learning on everything, to be honest with you.
Well, we quit learning, we start dying. So
yeah,
just keep on learning.
Absolutely.
I think that rather than use a bigger prop for a lower voltage battery, wouldn't you? I think the number of cells in the battery would be a dependent variable. You get a motor in an airplane and you get what size prop the airplane needs, and then you get the number of cells in the battery to fit. Either that or start with number of cells in the battery and get a different KV motor.
Well, I was going with the thought of starting with the airplane and the size of prop I wanted, just like you were talking about.
Yes.
But I'd hit stumbling blocks in there because all of a sudden, you know, I'd look at it in the KV that I was looking at, I was looking at a lower KV, like 850 to 950, somewhere in there. And as I go up to in cells on the badass chart, this prop size, he's got the green one. The ones that are in green are the ones that are suggested to run. The yellow ones will run, but you're pushing it, and then the other ones you don't want to use at all. And more of the props that are in the green are smaller diameter with the same motor, smaller diameter props than say with a 4-cell or a 3-cell. So that's why I was curious, because I wasn't connecting the dots apparently.
Yeah, look at the RPM and also look at the current that's flowing through the motor. The motor rating 40, 50 amps, something like that for most of what we're using. And then that puts the limit basically on the props, on the RPMs that they have. If you look at the prop at the maximum RPM, it'll show a current rating that is pretty doggone close to what's rated.
Thank you.
And if it's in a pink, that means that it's actually overloading. That's the ones that do not use.
Yeah, I like the badass charts because I can go in there with my limited knowledge. I can go in there and pick a combination that's going to work, but I don't know why.
The biggest problem is that the badass charts are designed for motors to be run at maximum value, and we never run the motors at maximum value.
Right.
So that takes a little getting used to, but a little bit of, I've done a few checkpoints. I've run against the limits that they published a couple of times. Example, I had the one motor they said would turn a 5.8 prop at 10,562 RPM. I got within like 8 RPM of what they said. I thought that was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Yeah. And of course, I didn't leave it there because it was like right at the limit and everything like that. But yeah, you're right. It's good. And I think I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. But yeah, they're helpful.
Yeah, I got lost with that too, John. It seems like when you first start looking at it, it looks like, okay, this has got more cells. This has got more cells. So why, when you go up in cells and up in voltage, up in power, it spins a smaller and smaller prop? And I couldn't put the two together.
That was throwing me for a loop.
Well, that did me too for a while.
Is that an inside or outside loop?
Lumshivak.
Yeah.
Square loop, huh?
Yeah.
It was kind of a square loop, yeah.
Yeah, it's that's enough to drive you crazy. But see, what you finally learn how to do is call Trayan or call one of the guys that know what the heck they're looking at. Denny would be an excellent one to get a hold of. But anyway, call one of the guys that know what you're looking at and say, where do I go from here? What do I do? Please.
Denny keeps his phone unlisted, so
yeah.
I'm teasing with you, Denny.
No, I've gotten through to him a couple times, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
His answers usually make me feel like, duh, stupid. Why didn't you think of that?
Yeah.
But anyway, one of those things. It's a learning curve.
Well, it's nice that we have people on the edges of what's happening, and
yeah,
I mean,
really.
The march goes ever onward. I know I'll always have an IC engine on something, but I'm sure that electric is the way we're all going to wind up going eventually.
Oh, I think so too.
Because you can fly it just about anywhere. Nobody can really make complain about noise issues.
We went to try to fly in a schoolyard, and the coach about had a fit because you're going to get that. I can't say exactly what he said on the air, but you're going to get that darn fuel all over my practice field. And then somebody gets hit and lands, and that crap's going to be all over their uniform and in their face and everything else. I said, it's an electric plane. The only exhaust is heat. And he still didn't get it. No. Finally, the vice principal, who was a woman who didn't look like she knew anything at all about airplanes, cars, or anything else to do with it, just looked at him and says, don't worry. She looked at me and she says, go ahead and fly it. She says, you come with me, I'll explain it to you. So a few minutes later, they came back out there and they watched us fly 3 or 4 times. And that was the end of that. Whenever he says, anytime you want to come back and fly, as long as the kids aren't practicing, you're welcome to it.
Yep.
So, and that place is a mile from my house, so that's nice.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
But even if you had an IC motor, I mean, how much fuel do you leave behind? I think that's really absurd.
Well,
Because I mean,
one of the things
when I fill my engine up, there's a little bit of overfill, but I mean, it's just a little piddling amount, and then that's it.
One of the things that
If you're worried
happens.
about that, you can get these, you can get those absorbing pads that you use in like hospital beds and stuff like that. Lay it down, fill it up, and then it overflows into that, and you pick it up and throw it in.
That's a good idea.
Charles, what it's all about.
Just a second, John. I see.
What it's all about is that things have gotten so weird, and California, I'm sure, is no different. Everybody is so scared that you're going to do something stupid and get hurt and sue, that any reason that they can give you not to let you do something extra is the reason they'll give you for it. And you have to dispel their rumors and just show them, look, we're not stupid, and there's no fuel, it's electric, and we won't make a mess. One place that I wanted to fly, I still couldn't fly, and I couldn't understand why not. He says, the field is AstroTurf. If you crash and that spinner goes into my carpet, you're going to leave a hole in my carpet. Oh my God. It's carpet squares. It's carpet squares. The whole field is made up of carpet squares.
Like their cleats aren't tearing it up.
Yeah.
Well, they don't allow them to play in cleats anymore out here, Eddie. They're afraid that there's been too many cases of knees and groins and knees, cleats and knees and cleats and groins and all. And they play in tennis shoes now. They look like cleats, but there's no cleats. There's nubs under them, but they're rubber, and they're half the size of what they used to be.
Okay.
So things have changed. It's very weird. I mean, I went to a track meet here a few weeks ago. I didn't mean to, but we were up there and they're running track, and having run track, I got interested in seeing what they were doing. They don't run track shoes anymore. My track shoes used to be like golf shoes. They had spikes on the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that anymore.
Wow.
I feel like a dinosaur. But anyway.
Well, let me let John in. John wants to say something. Go ahead, John.
I was going to say that the problem with IC engines, I'll give you an example. We had the Golden State Championships one year at a it was either a high school or a college area, and they had us fly in like a practice field area, but on the day for the big flights, big contest, they let us in on the inside of the grass where the football field was and all of that. And they had a beautiful grass field, and they they told us to take cloths in there, lay them down so we didn't. Well, we must have left enough dead grass from the fuel, but we were never allowed back there again.
Wow.
Even though we tried to avoid problems.
That's amazing.
So, try as hard as you might. If there's one person, you might get away with it. If there's 10 people, you might get away. But if you got a contest going and you got 40, 50 people, there's going to be an accident.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well, I want to welcome Steve Hines and Steve McBride in. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
How are you, Steve?
Oh, doing pretty good, I guess.
Well, that's good. You back doing any better?
It was until today. I
hurt mine again. I hurt mine again today too.
On my car, or my mom. It's going to be my mom's car, but yeah, that did me in. So
my little terrorist seeing a squirrel did me in.
Yeah,
I should have let go of the leash, and I didn't.
Oh, I was going to tell you earlier, Phil. You should put less rake on the leash and less tip weight, and it won't pull so hard.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Not that low.
I meant to say that an hour ago. Right, I got distracted.
Less nitro.
Dennis, what airplane is that? A smoothie?
Yeah, that's what he's got. It's a smoothie.
Ted, I was going to show it off to our friend from Las Vegas here. This is my traveling smoothie. It all comes apart. The wing comes off, the tail comes off.
Beautiful.
Box, so I don't have to share an airplane with Charles if I show up. All right.
All right. You plan on showing up? Denny, you plan on showing up?
Well, we're working on it. I did not see. Were you able to post information on what the hotel choice is going to be? I didn't see it.
You didn't see it on the I have it posted on the website, and if you wanted to, I can get you information for it.
Hey,
Rampart Marriott.
Hey,
It's at the JW Marriott, which is at the Rampart Hotel and Casino. It's a 5-star hotel.
what's the cost to stay at the Mustang Ranch?
All you got.
Plus 10%.
with your band, Steve, that sounds like.
But I only have Denny. If you're planning on staying there, let me know soon because I only have a few more rooms left. I only have a few more rooms left at that location at that special rate. Then everybody else from that point is going to another hotel that I have another rate at. I got a block of rooms set up, but the rate is a little bit slightly different.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about possibly and stuff like that, and she was saying, "Well, gee, I don't know about that's a 3-day drive." Yeah, but it's a 1-day flight, and the flight is like $69.
Oh my goodness.
How much? To fly to Vegas is cheap.
Yeah, to get home is expensive.
Flying home is hard.
It's a little different. No, coming to Vegas, this is the cheapest place. This is the cheapest place to fly to. Flying to Vegas is the cheapest place to actually fly to.
You're talking about that back in the early '80s. We went on a family vacation, and we stayed behind the dunes with a camper, and that was the cheapest place we stayed was in Vegas.
Yeah,
it was $5 for hookups. I'm like, really? So yeah, it don't cost much to get there.
But I know that the one time I went for a 3-day deal, 3 days and 4 nights or whatever, it was like $250 and it included some meal tickets and a show and and some other stuff for
they
for that
automatically give you package deals when you want to come out here. When we came out here the first few times, they give you a nice package deal all set up. But then you're also, you're paying a decent rate at what their hotel rates are. I'm getting an exceptional rate at that hotel. So that's why I'm saying I only have a few more left. Whoever's looking to stay, please get in touch with me soon with them and respond and send me the information so I have that. Other than that, everybody else is going to the other hotel that I have set up, but it's a few bucks. It's not much, but it's only a few bucks more.
How many people have signed up, Steve?
Geez, I have already 15 of my rooms booked up already, and the majority of them are all pilots doubled up. So I got almost about 19, 20 entries.
Are you flying profile? I forgot to look.
No.
No, okay.
You can fly a profile in any of the events, but am I having a separate profile event? No.
Okay.
I have classics. I have all-time stunt, classic stunt. We have Super 70s and Pampa.
Hey, you might be able to answer a question we had here.
Right?
I'm sorry, I heard two of you.
I said you might be able to answer a question. We were wondering if the airplane that Denny's holding up, the smoothie, is old-time legal. I believe it is. I believe it was published before the end of 1952.
Well, you had the plans in your hand from.
Well, let me put it this way. I have people that are helping me with the old time setup to that. I don't know all of the rules and regulations and the guidelines of old time. I don't fly old time. I've never competed with old time, so I don't know everything.
That's okay, Steve.
But I do have people that are coming here that do fly old time, and all I will say is the old time rules that we are running are going to be the same that they run VSC style.
All right. Well, we'd probably appreciate, I'm almost positive because I drew the plans that Bob Palmer sent me, his original plans drawn on butcher paper. And he told me at that time that he'd drawn one set with a thinner wing. And that was for winning. That's why it was called smoothie. But he didn't like the way that it handled in calmer air. So he said he built another one with a thicker wing, and he painted them both the same. And he'd go to a contest with them both in his car, and he'd look, and if it was windy, he'd pull out the thin winged one, which was the one that was originally published and kitted. But if it was calm, he'd pull out the one with the fatter wing. And he said people never caught on to it ever. But anyway, and so that's why the Brodak version has the thicker wing than what the people are used to.
You're saying that the R version of the smoothie is a thicker wing?
Yeah.
That thing seems pretty thin to me.
Well, it wasn't. You should see the one on the original smoothie.
Okay. I mean, I have one of those.
The Brodak plan and the published plan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm out of here.
How does the wing go on, Dennis?
All right, Eddie. Thank you for coming
We'll
in,
see you,
Eddie.
Thank you. Bad enough, too, guys.
All right,
How
Tom.
does
Thanks
the
for
wing
coming
go
in, Tom.
on, Dennis?
You leaving too, Howard?
Leaving too hard?
I know he was probably saying waving goodbye to.
No, I was just saying goodbye to whoever.
Okay.
Thank you.
How is the wing bolted on, Dennis?
I'm sorry?
How is the wing bolted on?
With buttons.
The same as the others.
Oh, it's the same as, okay.
I did one little different thing on this. You see where the landing gear is?
Yeah.
It spans the joint in the fuselage.
Oh, okay.
It's not that terrain.
Front of it bolts to the
Terrain's
fuselage.
setup.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not trans. It doesn't plug in.
Bottom, there is no way to do it. It actually has a bolt on the top that runs down into the top bell crank platform and cinches it up that way so the fuselage can't flex or anything like that.
And then
How do you get into your batteries, Dennis?
Sorry?
How do you get into the batteries?
Oh, that's the one that.
Okay, what holds the batteries? What holds the batteries in there?
Velcro. I did this 10 years ago. I'd probably do it different. When I did the conversion kit for Brodak, I just released one for the smoothie. I made that a side access battery.
Yeah, I like that better.
What's holding on top line? Denny, what's holding that top line? You just got to clip it in and then magnets, or?
Say again, please, Steve.
What's holding that top end where your battery compartment is? You got magnets holding it down also?
Got magnets on the side, magnets in the front. Got a hook.
Okay.
Like a hook in the front.
Hook and magnets.
It hooks in latch, in the front, and then the magnets hold it down and back, and whatever.
Hey, Denny,
That's cool, Denny.
You left it open.
You got to put a dummy cylinder on the front there, so it looks like it's got a IC motor.
Well, this was, like I said, I started with the Brodak Arc kit, and this was the tank hatch that the Brodak Arc had, and it just became a battery hatch. And if I had been a little more dramatic there, I would have put a block over the motor or something like that. But what the heck?
Well, I just think it'd be cool to have a dummy cylinder there.
Yeah, I thought about it. Probably still thinking about it. Could use some nose weight. Maybe I should do it. I don't know.
People would say, boy, that's the McCoy Redhead, and tell people that's the quietest McCoy Redhead you'll ever hear.
Well, that's it. Well, it does have a red motor in it. I don't know if you can see that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's, yeah. Yeah, I told you before, I like the inverted motor, the inverted engine smoothie better than the upright. But
Right.
it kind of gets lost in the translation with the cylindrical motor. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
But
So
anyhow,
you have a case for it, or you'd have to make up a case to take it to Vegas?
I have to make a case.
Oh, okay. Or
It
Before I
just,
make a case, I'm going to try to figure out why it won't fly level. So
oh, okay.
probably needs down thrust.
it always
It's electric. They don't fly level.
so. And actually, I think that's got a chance. So I had some when I first started flying it, some inside-outside trouble, and I thought it was because the airplane all bolts together, and I thought I got something crooked on it, so I shimmed the stab, and it seemed to help and everything like that. But I've always had the devil of a time flying level. All right,
Got any down thrust in it?
I hate that.
Got any down thrust?
It does now.
Okay. Have you flown it since you put it in?
Yeah, I think what's going to happen now is it actually had a touch of up thrust in it because it's a lefty instead of a righty, and I think that was probably the wrong thing to do. So I took out the up thrust. We got a little bit of down thrust in it now.
Is it still a lefty?
Anticipating now that it's going to be overturning outside, and I'm going to end up taking some of my shims out of the stab. So
Have you still got it turning the opposite direction then?
did I still have what?
You still got it turning clockwise? The prop?
Yeah, backwards, whatever.
Reverse.
Might
I
want
say
to try.
pusher, some people get upset. So
You might want to think about just try it with some down thrust and with a counter rotating prop.
yeah. Let's see. I tried. Sometimes I'm not that scientific. I tried A, that wouldn't work, so I'll try minus A.
Yeah, yeah.
And frankly, I've just in the last year or so started adjusting thrust lines and getting positive results with it. So I've been taking a lot of old airplanes and tweaking thrust lines on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Some are more responsive than other.
Up, down, or sideways?
Up and down, not sideways. That's the other thing, Howard. I don't understand. I thoroughly respect it. I know you guys are doing it the right way. Don't get me started on lead out position. Okay. So I know what you guys are doing and I don't comprehend it. And, but that'll be, I don't know, something else to try sometime, I guess. I haven't got anything built where I can move the lead outs that far. So
I've got an airplane design question for you guys.
uh-oh.
On I-beam wings.
I2 or no, never mind.
I-beam wings. When you make those things, you take the ribs are all the same shape, and you take them and you start at the leading edge and you whack off the trailing edge, right?
Right.
Okay. They all come out with the same airfoil, and if so, what kind of curve is that? Is it a logarithmic spiral?
I think it's probably the left tennis shoe, size 12.
I think John's right, but I think you're also dead on. Is it should be possible to generate a spiral that would behave like it was a continuous continuous spiral all the way out to the tip.
Yeah, I think you're
Same
right.
airfoil. Yeah, I'm messing with that. I'm kind of doing it crudely, but I'll report my results.
Be interesting to hear them.
What are you doing with an I-beam?
Huh?
What are you doing with an I-beam?
Oh, I'm gonna send some ribs to somebody. Just
I-beams are fun.
I quite like I-beams, actually. I was scared to death of them because I'd never built one until I built my first I-beam wing, and then all of a sudden, wow, this isn't hard.
I think Tryan's right though with new materials, with adding carbon fiber and stuff and the I-beam. I think you could go with a longer span now.
I cooked some I-beam spars in my oven, and I think one of them won the world championships in 1992.
Oh, really?
Yeah, carbon fiber.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
carbon fiber, I did some on a faux I-beam on the Pathfinder. Ding, ding, ding. Pathfinder had a faux I-beam on the first iteration. It had an I-beam spar, and you slid the ribs onto it, but it didn't have it wasn't a true I-beam. It was just a flat spar, and it would fail. We found out it would fail. But what I've done since, I've made a true I-beam, and I've done it basically based on Gerke's work on his Novis and those. And I've got that All-American Eagle, and that thing just is a dream to fly. And that it has the true I-beam with 1/8 inch by with an 1/8 inch by 3/8 or 1/8 inch by quarter on top of an 1/8 inch wide spar, and the ribs are slid on. And anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, but anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make is I-beams are a lot lighter, and there's the problem. Only problem I see is you got to really have a strong. It gets a lot of its strength from its covering. And I noticed on some of the bigger and longer wings, they've got a second I-beam in there, goes at least a third of the way out towards the rear. So.
And then you'd have to figure out how to do a take apart I-beam.
It can be done.
It can be done.
I think that's actually a pretty simple thing to do with an I-beam. So,
yeah.
Yeah, one thing, you could put the screws in from the top and just screw it right into the I-beam.
That's what I did.
When you take apart wing is you need some kind of a hard point in this otherwise light wing structure that, that carries the load through the wing and everything like that. What the heck? That's what an I-beam spar does. So
Yeah.
Pretty hard to attach to that will distribute the load through the wing.
Oh, I know where I was going with that. I wound up because the wing tended to flex too much on the Pathfinder. It was
ding.
I wound up putting a strip of carbon fiber on the top, and that worked great until. But I
why does it say that that other guy designed it?
He did. I'm talking about what I did on the one that I built for myself.
Oh.
Okay. But I didn't have the carbon fiber trapped between two pieces of balsa, in other words, sandwich. And so eventually I got it where it broke loose in a place and my wings started flexing again.
Yeah, the carbon I cooked was a shear web, plus or minus 45. You should have had a shear web.
I did all the way through. But it was still, there was enough on it. It would still, you could see the wing flex in the hard maneuvers.
Yeah. Well, obviously the feature of the original USA one.
Was it?
Kind of an accidental one, I think, but especially if there was a little bit of breeze or something like that, it was a flexi flyer.
Yeah.
And that was built, I think, pretty traditional. Certainly didn't have any carbon or anything like that in it. Now, Bob McDonald built one, modernized it. He did a few other things like you look at a lot of the old I-beam, the classic I-beams and stuff. The spar is way forward in the wing. And one of the things that Bob McDonald did with his USA is he moved the spar back. He said 1 inch, so it's pretty near the high point of the wing all the way out, especially at the tip. All right, I think that made the bigger difference there. But some of them, the I-beam is so far forward by the time it gets to the tip, it's just nothing but letting the wing twist like crazy. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, that's why Gordon went and had me change it to the Mark II version of the Pathfinder. With the spars and the lead cap, the sheeted leading edge, because the original didn't have a sheeted leading edge. It was a faux I-beamer. So anyway.
Yeah, if you happen to be someone who's trying to build one of the originals, the I-beam spar is 2 pieces of 1/8 inch, and they put it together. Well, mine has carbon fiber in between them, but even at that, when you build it, your ribs stick up more than 1/4 inch above that spar. So I decided to sheet the leading edge and just put a piece of 1/8 inch between the spar and the top of the ribs to close it all in.
That
And
should do the job.
we'll see what happens. I hope it'll strengthen it up, because somewhere on YouTube, and I should have bookmarked it and I didn't, there's a picture of a Pathfinder that the guy's flying, and he does his hourglass. And when he hits the bottom corner, the wing absolutely exploded.
Yep.
So then they show the aftermath and show the crash damage and everything. Of course, it's pretty well destroyed, but it interestingly did not get damaged. The nose of the plane did not get damaged. It was all just the wing when it shattered, and the thing was already flat. It just pancaked in, busted the prop, stopped the wing. But the front of the spinner was not damaged at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
I know I've mentioned this before, but I was flying sailplanes at the Nationals. One of the guys there had one of the Airtronics Legends, I think it was. And the thing had a pretty robust spar in it. And he went crazy with it. He carboned it up and, glassed it up and everything like that. Went up on a full tilt launch on the winch and everything like that. I heard this bang, and then, pieces of airplane flying all over, and the fuselage,
Lawn dart.
around. You go check it out. The spar was 100% intact, and it had pulled out of the built-up wing structure, the D2 wing structure. All right. The spar could have been, cleaned off the old wood and stuff. It could have gone into a brand new build without any repair whatsoever. It was like pulling the spine out of a fish or something like that.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good
let me
airplane.
interrupt you guys. I want to close the live stream portion. We've had a really good show, and I'm so far behind the chat. It's unbelievable. But one thing I'm going to grab out of it was a reminder for you, John, and this is from Jeff Riley, and that's to check into the Duck Creek RV Park. I guess when you go to Las Vegas, the Duck Creek RV Park.
Well, the guy that's going with me has got Parkinson's, and so he doesn't want to camp out. He wants to go to the motel. So we've already made arrangements for the motel. But
Well,
thank you, Jeff.
Well, great. So let me see here. In review, we've had as many as it's like 17 viewers. Of course, we're going to get a lot of replays, and we have 19 likes. So thank you very much. No chat revenue. Don't forget to do that, you guys. I know finances are tight for some individuals, but those who are fortunate, please help support the channel. And then memberships, don't forget the subscription of $4.99 a month. And we can be back here next Friday. So go out there and have some fun and come back and tell us all about it. And without that, unless someone else has a quick comment or a parting remark, we're going to end the show. I guess that's it. So let me end the stream. And all right, so we are